As promised, here is the answer key to today's packet, which you can finish as practice. I'm going to click through each of the slides. Each one has 2 problems on it. I'll pause for a few seconds. You should pause the video if you want to stop at that question and review the work or review the answer. And then I'll keep moving to the next. There are 24 questions. They are not required for homework, but they're excellent practice for your test on Monday. All right, here are the first 2. Number 3 and number 4. Please notice that I stopped and figured out what operation I was going to do before I even started writing down numbers. I just read the problem and thought about what was going on. I want to call your attention to number 6. This one tricked me. Fred got $120 for his birthday. Ooh, that's a lot of money. He used 3/5 of his birthday money, of that $120, on a new pair of shoes. 3/5 of 120 is $72, but that's not the answer. I can guarantee you if this was a multiple choice, $72 would be the trick answer, but you got to read that last question. How much money did he have left after his purchase? Purchase means the thing that he bought. So he had $120, he spent $72. That means that the real answer is right here. Fred has $48 left over after he bought those shoes. All right, number 7 and number 8. Disperse in number 7 means to spread out, and soil is a type of dirt. Number 9 and number 10. Number 10, don't be tricked by the fact that it's talking about losing pounds. That might trick you into thinking that we're subtracting, but we're actually adding because he lost 4 1/3 pounds during the first week, and he lost more weight during the second week, so you have to add those 2 together to figure out how many pounds in total he lost. Some multiplication problems can also be done as repeated addition, like in number 11. Same with number 14. You can solve them as multiplication or addition problems, depending on what you are more comfortable with. You do not need to, in number 13, change that 3/4 of a minute to seconds. A fraction of a minute is fine. Here's number 15 and number 16. Again, so long as your answers are simplified improper fractions, it does not matter to me whether you leave your answers in simplified fraction or mixed number form. But please know that you will be expected to know how to change a mixed number to an improper fraction, which is the Texas method, or an improper fraction to a mixed number, which is long division. So your numerator goes inside your division house and your denominator goes out. 17. It's a pretty common question type. I don't know why. It's not very creative, but it's a pretty common question type to talk about a piece of wood being broken up. It's not always going to be the case, but just know that they're just talking about sawing wood or cutting wood into different smaller pieces. I don't know why that's a popular question type among fractions, but it is. Oh, here's another one, 18. So you're finding 2/3 of 141 students who did choose soccer as their favorite sport, but the question is asking you how many did not. I actually solved it 2 ways here. I found 2/3 of 141 and then subtracted. Or you can say, well, if 2/3 chose soccer, that means that 1/3 didn't, and you can find 1/3 of 41, which is the fraction of students, it's the number that did not choose it. So you can solve it 2 ways there. Number 19 and number 20. Let's see. Number 20, I thought it was interesting to notice here that although there are different denominators, you have 2/3, you have 1/3, you have 1/2. If you add those thirds first, like I did here, it gives you a whole number, and then you can just add the two whole numbers and tack on your fraction. Tack on means add on at the end without having to convert to common denominators. So while yes, I do always push, like when you're adding, you need common denominators. When you're adding lots of things, why not try and see if there are already some that you can add together and simplify first before changing everything. If you change everything right away to sixths, that's fine. You'll have to simplify your final answer, but you should still get the same thing. And if you didn't, then something went wrong. All right. These two are pretty straightforward. Some multiplication problems you can do as repeated addition, some you cannot. Number 21 was a cannot kind of example. Remember that you always have to have fractions when you are multiplying or dividing. You gotta keep, change, flip, which I did up here. This number 24, the last one, again, kind of like the diet one. Even though they're taking stuff out of the pumpkin, if you've ever carved a pumpkin, there's like a lot of slimy goop in the middle along with the seeds, and so you like scoop it all out. But even though sometimes out might make us think, ooh, subtracting, it's actually adding up how much Sarah took out of her pumpkin and how much Talia took out of hers, and adding those two amounts together to see how much in total was taken out. I hope this key is helpful. I hope that you are practicing, because we do have our fractions test on Monday, and I know you guys are all going to be super successful. I'm really proud of all the hard work that you've put in this unit, and I hope you enjoy your weekend.